Before you watch this, understand one thing. CCTV cameras don't scare evil away. They don't protect places. They don't stop things from happening. They only do one job: they remember. And sometimes, they remember things that were never meant to be seen again. Tonight you're not watching a documentary. You're stepping into recordings that were reviewed once, and then never played again, because everyone who watched them carefully noticed the same thing. The footage didn't just show something happening. It showed that whatever was there knew it was being watched. The first recording was from a camera installed in an office building that no one liked staying late in. Not because of any specific incident or rumor, just a feeling. The kind of feeling you get when a place feels occupied, even when it's completely empty. The camera was aimed down a long corridor. White walls, gray carpet, and the dim glow of emergency lights. Nothing dramatic. At 1:42 in the morning, the last employee leaves. You can see him on camera, tired, half asleep, checking his phone as he waits for the elevator. The doors close, and after that, the building is officially empty. For nearly an hour, nothing happens. The camera just records the profound silence. Then, at 2:39 a.m., something changes. Not visually, audibly, a low sound appears on the audio track. It's not static. It's not interference. It's breathing, slow, controlled, like someone is standing right next to the microphone. But the hallway is empty. The breathing continues for 27 seconds, and then it stops. Exactly 1 second later, the lights at the far end of the corridor dim. They don't flicker, they just dim, as if someone is standing directly underneath them, casting a white shadow. The motion sensor activates. Green detection box appears on the screen. Around nothing. And that's when the shadow appears on the wall. It doesn't move in from the side. It doesn't stretch or distort. It just forms, like it was there the whole time. And the light finally caught it. The shadow is shaped like a human head. Shoulders, but no legs. It stays there for 3 seconds, then fades away into the wall. At 2:40 a.m., the breathing returns. It's closer this time. The audio levels peak, distorting the sound, and then the camera shuts off. It doesn't cut to black. The feed just ends. The next morning, the IT department checked the entire system. The camera hadn't lost power. The cable was intact, and the server showed no errors. The recording file simply ended. When employees arrived for work, they found every single door along that corridor wide open. No alarms had been triggered. No entry logs were recorded. Just open doors, leading into dark, empty offices. This next recording comes from a small apartment. A couple installed a camera in their living room because they kept waking up feeling utterly exhausted. They weren't scared, just drained, like they hadn't slept at all. The camera was positioned facing the couch and the television. For the first few nights, there was nothing out of the ordinary. But on the fourth night, the footage changed. At 3:11 a.m., the camera records the living room exactly as they had left it. The lights are off, the curtains are still. Then the couch cushion sinks slowly, as if someone is very carefully sitting down. No one enters the frame. The cushion just depresses completely. For a few seconds, nothing else happens. Then the TV turns on. Static fills the screen, and the volume begins to rise, all by itself. The camera's microphone picks up that breathing sound again. But this time it's different, deeper, heavier. The couch cushion shifts slightly, as if an unseen weight is adjusting its position. The camera itself shakes for a moment, just a little, as if something brushed past it. Then, for a split second that made the owners stop the playback, the static on the TV screen forms a shape, a face. It's not clear, but it's close enough that you can tell. It's looking out of the screen, directly at the camera. Suddenly, the TV shuts off. The cushion slowly returns to its normal shape. The breathing stops. At 6:00 a.m., the couple wakes up. Neither of them remembers getting up during the night, but both of them complain of having the exact same unsettling dream. Someone was sitting on the couch between them, just watching. The third recording comes from a massive multi-level parking garage. Multiple cameras, multiple angles. At 2:56 a.m., a man parks his car. He gets out, checks his phone for a second, and locks the car. Everything seems perfectly normal. He takes a few steps towards the exit. Then he stops. The camera's automatic tracking zooms in on him. His body language changes completely. His shoulders tense up, and his head tilts as if he's listening to something. He slowly turns around. You can see the color drain from his face. Whatever he sees is directly behind him. But the camera angle looking at him shows nothing but empty space. His reaction, however, is undeniably real. He takes a fearful step back, then another. Then he runs. He doesn't scream or shout for help. He just runs, like someone who knows deep down that making noise won't do any good. The next camera in the sequence catches him sprinting down the concrete lane. And behind him, something appears in the frame. It's not chasing him. It's just standing there, tall, motionless, watching him run until he's out of view. The footage from the next camera in the sequence is missing. The police never found the man. His car is still there, collecting dust. People sometimes say fear is just your imagination, but imagination doesn't leave cars behind. This next recording is subtle, and that's exactly why it's so much worse. It's from a school hallway camera, late at night. The corridor is empty, lined with lockers on both sides. At 12:14 a.m., everything is still. At 12:15 a.m., one locker door opens. Slowly, with no force and no sound. It just swings open enough to reveal the complete darkness inside. Then another locker does the same, then another. All of them opening one by one, all facing the camera. It's as if something is moving down the hallway, from inside the lockers. The very last locker in the row opens, and for a single solitary frame of the video, there is a face. Its eyes are wide open, unblinking, staring directly out. The footage then resumes its normal speed, and all the lockers are closed again. The hallway is empty, but the camera keeps recording, and for the rest of the night, every time the fluorescent lights flicker, you can see the locker doors tremble slightly, as if something inside is still breathing. And for our final recording tonight, this camera was placed inside a hospital corridor during the night shift, when staff is minimal. At 4:02 in the morning, a wheelchair rolls into the frame. No one is pushing it. It moves on its own, coming to a stop directly under the camera. The seat cushion depresses, as if someone has just sat down in it. Then the footrests move, adjusting their position. The sensitive camera microphone records a soft sound. It's not breathing, it's not crying, it's whispering. The sound is too low and distorted to understand any of the words. The wheelchair stays there, in the middle of the empty hallway, until the morning shift arrives. The staff found its wheels locked, with no explanation for how it got there. But one nurse who saw the footage later said that chair wasn't empty. The person in it just wasn't visible. By now, you should be realizing something. These recordings aren't violent, they aren't dramatic or loud. They're calm, almost too calm. It's as if whatever appears on these cameras isn't trying to scare anyone. It's just existing. And the most disturbing thought of all is this: cameras don't create these moments, they just reveal them. So the next time you walk past a security camera late at night, and you get that feeling like something is just slightly off, maybe the camera already knows why, and maybe it's not watching for your safety. Thanks for watching. They say seeing is believing. But what happens when the camera captures something your mind refuses to accept? Tonight we're looking into the abyss, exploring terrifying footage that suggests we are not alone. These are the watchers, the silent observers who exist just on the edge of our perception. It starts in a high-rise apartment, home to a newlywed couple. They were skeptics, people who laughed at ghost stories. Their peace was shattered when scratches began appearing on their walls. At first, they were faint, easily dismissed, but soon deep gouges tore into their doors, their furniture. The husband, determined to find a rational explanation, set up a small camera in the living room. What he captured defied all logic. At 3:17 in the morning, the footage shows an empty, silent room. Their cat is asleep on the rug. But then, the sofa cushion begins to sink, slowly, as if an unseen weight is settling down. A low, metallic breathing fills the audio, a sound that isn't human. A book suddenly topples from a shelf. The TV screen erupts into static. And then, in the corner of the room, a figure materializes. It's tall, its features obscured in shadow, completely faceless. It doesn't move. It just stares directly into the camera lens. For 6 agonizing minutes, it watches. Then, as suddenly as it appeared, it's gone. The couple woke up to find the cushion still indented, and the scratches deeper than before. They abandoned the apartment that very day. This isn't an isolated incident. In a sterile corporate office, cleaners kept reporting strange noises late at night. Management, annoyed but curious, installed cameras in the hallways. At 1:41 a.m., the footage shows an empty corridor under the cold hum of fluorescent lights. But then the shadows on the wall begin to move. They stretch and twist in ways that defy the laws of physics, elongating and distorting with an unnatural, deliberate motion. Cardboard boxes near a doorway shuffle on their own, even floating for a brief moment. At the far end of the hall, a faint human-like outline appears. Yet there are no footsteps, no sound at all. The staff who reviewed the footage were horrified. Some claimed that during a momentary glitch in the video, they saw ghostly faces pressed against the walls. A few fainted on the spot. Others simply quit, refusing to ever set foot in that building again. The watchers seemed drawn to places of transition, places where energy lingers. Take a local high school. After students repeatedly reported hearing whispers in the empty halls after dark, the school installed night vision cameras. The footage from 12:03 a.m. shows a silent, empty corridor lined with lockers. Everything is still. Then one locker door swings open on its own. A few seconds later, another one does, and another. Soon, a chain reaction begins. Locker doors creaking open down the entire length of the hall. At the far end, a dark shadow emerges. It's the shape of a person, standing perfectly still, just watching. For 14 minutes, the locker doors continue their silent, eerie dance while the figure remains motionless. Then, it vanishes. The students who saw the footage reported having recurring nightmares of faceless figures following them down school corridors. The sound of opening lockers echoing in their dreams. Hospitals, too, are no strangers to these phenomena. In a children's wing, night staff grew increasingly unnerved by faint whispers and laughter coming from empty corridors. So, they set up cameras. At 3:22 a.m., the footage is quiet. Suddenly, a small rubber ball rolls into the frame, seemingly from nowhere. It stops near the wall. Then, as if pushed by an invisible hand, it rolls back. The camera's microphone picks up the faint, high-pitched sound of a child's laughter. The lights in the hall flicker erratically. The ball then rolls purposefully towards a patient's room. The door, which was closed, swings open. The ball rolls inside, and the door shuts behind it. The next morning, nurses confirmed the room had been empty all night. When questioned, the hospital administration refused to explain what happened. Several staff members resigned that week. These entities don't just stay indoors. An outdoor camera in a small, poorly lit parking garage captured something truly chilling. At 4:12 in the morning, a woman gets out of her car. The footage is grainy, but behind her, several meters away, stands a tall, faceless silhouette. It doesn't move. It doesn't approach. It just stands there. The woman seems to sense it. She glances over her shoulder. Her body tenses, and she breaks into a dead sprint towards her apartment building. The camera then captures the silhouette's shadow stretching impossibly long across the asphalt, reaching for the building she just ran into. Police reviewed the footage after she was reported missing. Her car was untouched in the parking lot. The woman was never seen again. Even the most mundane spaces can become terrifying. An elevator camera in a hotel recorded this at 1:58 a.m. The doors slide open to an empty hallway. No one gets in, but as the doors close, the reflection in the elevator's mirror tells a different story. A tall, faceless figure is standing inside. The emergency phone in the elevator suddenly begins to ring, its shrill sound cutting through the silence. The figure in the mirror leans closer to the camera, its form distorting the reflection. The video feed glitches for a second. When it clears, the elevator doors are opening on another floor. The elevator is empty, but the mirror on the back wall is cracked, shattered from the inside. Again, the hotel staff refused to comment. Perhaps the most unsettling footage came from an abandoned warehouse scheduled for demolition. Cameras were set up for security overnight. At exactly midnight, the cameras captured an unbelievable sight. Dozens of faceless, shadowy figures appeared out of thin air. They stood shoulder to shoulder, a silent, motionless crowd, all facing directly at the camera. For 3 minutes, they didn't move. Then, at exactly 12:03 a.m., every single one of them turned their heads in perfect unison. A single, collective exhale was picked up by the microphone, and then they all vanished. The demolition crew who worked on the site afterward all reported an overwhelming feeling of being watched. What if they're not just in public spaces? What if they're in our homes? The family began experiencing terrifying episodes of sleep paralysis, all on the same nights. Fearing a home invasion or something worse, they installed a camera on their main staircase. At 2:17 a.m., the footage is pitch black. Then, a figure materializes at the top of the stairs. It begins to descend, slowly, deliberately, one step at a time. As it reaches the bottom, all the bedroom doors on the second floor swing open simultaneously. The figure then melts back into the darkness. The family woke up with a shared sense of dread, and they found fresh scratch marks running all along the wooden banister. A pattern begins to emerge from all this footage. These entities, these watchers, they share unnerving traits. They almost never attack directly. Their movements are always calculated, deliberate, as if they are studying us. They manipulate shadows, reflections, and even the cameras themselves. And they always vanish right before any human can intervene. The evidence suggests they exist right alongside us, in a layer of reality we can't normally perceive. They observe, they wait, and they never, ever forget that they've seen you. What are they waiting for? That's the question that will keep you up at night. Thanks for watching. The abandoned mansion, a wealthy mansion, empty for decades. Local historians installed a camera in the grand hall to monitor trespassers. 11:57 p.m., footage begins. The hall is silent. Dust drifts in the chandelier light. Shadows appear along the walls, tall, stretched, humanoid. At 12:01 a.m., a figure materializes in the center. No face, long fingers, standing perfectly still. It tilts its head as if aware of the camera. Then, from the ceiling, a second figure drops. Not falling, appearing, they face each other, pause and vanish simultaneously. Historians later find handprints on dust-covered furniture. Too high to reach, locals report seeing shapes in windows at night. The Hotel Basement, a historic hotel, installs a camera in the basement after staff report footsteps. 2:33 a.m., basement empty. Boxes stacked, pipes creaking. The door opens slowly. A shadow crosses. Humanoid, distorted whispers fill the audio, some English, some long-dead languages. The shadow approaches the camera. For 27 seconds, nothing else moves. Then boxes begin to shake violently. Next morning, boxes untouched. Scratches on the concrete floor, impossible for humans. The apartment STARC, a camera installed after a resident experiences sleep paralysis. 3:12 a.m., staircase empty. Green night vision. A shadow forms at the top. It hovers. Audio records low, distorted humming, almost like chanting underwater. At 3:17 a.m., bedroom doors open simultaneously. A small silhouette appears at the bottom step. Shape stretches, elongates, ascends the stairs, blending into walls. Next morning, scratches on the banister. No one else inside. The school night, HLL High School corridor. Camera installed after repeated student reports of whispers. Empty hall. Lockers closed, lights flickering. At 12:47 a.m., Faint outline at far end, standing, watching. Locker doors begin opening one by one. No sound. The shadow doesn't move. Lights flicker. Then it vanishes. Students reviewing footage report recurrent nightmares. Sleepwalking toward lockers. The hospital pediatric WARD camera in deserted pediatric ward. 2:31 a.m. Empty corridor. Ventilators hum softly. Cart moves slowly. No one touches it. Shadows of children appear, standing, staring at camera. One shadow walks into a room. Door opens and closes itself. Staff refuse to explain the events the next morning. The office storage, RO empty office after hours. 1:44 a.m. Boxes stacked. Shelves lined. A tall faceless shape appears behind shelves. It steps forward, no sound. It bends, lifts a folder, lets it fall. Camera tilts automatically. The figure disappears. Employees reviewing footage feel unease, dizziness, claiming the figure is behind them even when alone. The parking LT outdoor camera. 4:14 a.m. Woman exits car. Faceless silhouette stands several meters behind. It doesn't move. She runs. Camera captures shadow stretching across asphalt toward apartment. The hotel COR Radio, a luxury hotel. 7th floor, 1:19 a.m. Hallway empty. Faceless man appears. Audio captures, whispers, "We are always with you." The figure glides down the hallway, through walls, and vanishes. Housekeeping staff feel intense dread reviewing footage. Some quit the hotel permanently. The factory in IGHT abandoned factory. Las 12:02 a.m. Floor, empty. Machinery shakes. Shadow moves above. Elongated limbs. Faceless. 2 minutes later, a second figure appears. Both vanish by 12:08 a.m. Handprints appear on machinery impossible to reach from floor. The final PATTR in these entities share traits. Do not attack physically. Slow, deliberate, calculated movements. Manipulate shadows, reflections, camera angles. Vanish before humans intervene. They exist alongside humans. Observe, wait, never forget. They are patient. They are aware. The final WAR neon every camera you pass, every security lens, every night vision feed. It may not be for your safety. It may be recording you once seen. You are never forgotten. Some cameras never stop watching. Some entities never stop waiting. Even after this video ends, they may still be watching, and sometimes they are waiting for you to notice. If you got chills from these CCTV recordings, don't keep it to yourself. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment below which footage terrified you the most. More cases, more fear. Coming soon on Last Evidence.